Okay, so this is for Wednesday evening. Okay, this is our equations and inequalities. We're going to call this equations and inequalities 2. I'm going to work number 1 with you. Let me go ahead and zoom in. Okay, for number 1, there is an equal sign here. We have a left side and a right side of the equal sign. What we're going to do is, to simplify this problem, we're going to combine like terms on the left side. So if you notice this 2a and 7a, those are like terms, along with this -3 and this +5. So I'm going to combine the 2a and the 7a. That gives me 9a. I'm going to combine the +5 and the -3. That gives me +2 equal to 20. Now I'm going to isolate the a. In order to isolate the a, I need to get rid of the 2. So I'm going to subtract 2 from each side of the equation. That leaves me with 9a equals 18. I'm going to carry on to this side here. 9a equals 18. I'm going to divide both sides by 9 so that the a is isolated. When you do that, you end up with a equals 2. All right, number 2, I'm going to work with you. Again, we have like terms on the left side of the equal sign, and we have like terms on the right side of the equal sign. So we're going to combine the 7 and the 2. That gives us 9c. Don't forget the +3. And 11 plus 10, which is 21. Oops. Equals 21. Again, we want to isolate the 9c, so we're going to subtract 3 from each side. Okay, we have 9c still equals 18. I'm going to carry this on to the top right. 9c equals 18. Divide both sides by 9. c equals 2. And remember, when you're solving equations, you can always take your number and plug it back to the equation. When you plug it back into the equation, the left side should equal the right side. So when you plug 2 back in for c, you should get 21 equals 21. Okay, so tomorrow during class, we're going to work number 3 and number 4. Number 9, I'm going to work with you. We're working with inequalities now. But again, you have the left side of the inequality where these two variables are alike, so we can combine those like terms. So 5y plus 2y is 7y, less than or equal to -21. Divide both sides by 7. Y is less than or equal to -3. Okay, I'm going to work number 10 with you. On number 10, do you see the like terms? 8c, 10c, -10c. So if we combine 8c and -10c, we get -2c. We still have the -3, less than or equal to 7. We want to isolate the -2c and add 3 to each side. So we have -2c is less than or equal to 10. I'm going to carry this over to the right side. -2c is less than or equal to 10. Now to isolate c, I have to divide both sides by -2. And remember, with inequalities, when you divide by a negative sign, the sign flips. So negative 2 divided by negative 2. Remember, when you divide by a negative sign, the inequality sign flips. So C is greater than or equal to negative 5. Okay, so tomorrow in class you will work number 11 and 12. You will also work number 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, we're moving on to the next page. Equations and inequalities. Again, I'm going to number this with a 2, and this is also for Wednesday evening or night, whenever you're doing it. Okay, let's work number 1. We have 6x plus 3 equals 8x minus 21. Okay, so we have variables on the left and a variable on the right. We have numbers on the left and numbers on the right. We have to get variables to one side of the equal sign and numbers to the other side of the equal sign. So we're going to start off by subtracting 3. That gives us 6x equals 8x minus 24. Then we are going to subtract 8x from each side because we need to get the variables on one side. So we have negative 2x equals negative 24. I'm going to carry this over to this side. Negative 2x equals negative 24. Isolate the x, divide both sides by negative 2. X equals 12. Okay, I'm going to work number 3 with you. Numbers on one side, variables on the other. So I'm going to add 4, add 4. 7k equals 5k plus 16 plus 4, 20. Get this variable 5k to this side. Subtract 5k, subtract 5k. So 7k minus 5k, 2k equals 20. I'm going to carry this over here. So 2k equals 20. Divide both sides by 2 to isolate the k. K equals 10. Okay, during class tomorrow, you're going to work number 5, 6, 7, and 8. We're going to go down to number 9. We're working in inequality. Same thing. We want variables on one side, numbers on the other. So I'm going to start off by subtracting 5 so I can get this 4n by itself. So 4n is less than 6n. Then we're going to do 7 minus 5, which is positive 2. I want this 6n on the other side, so I'm going to subtract 6n from each side. So 4n minus 6n is negative 2n is less than 2. I'm going to carry this over here. Negative 2n is less than 2. Now, again, we're dividing by a negative number. When you divide by a negative number and it's an inequality, you have to flip your sign. So n is greater than negative 1. Okay, we are continuing with number 11. On number 11, we have to distribute. So we're going to take this 2, and I'm going to do this one on a separate sheet of paper so we have more room. Number 11, we have 2x minus 3 plus 5 is greater than 3x minus 1. I'm going to take this 2 and distribute it. So 2x minus 6 plus 5 is greater than, I'm going to take the 3 and distribute into the parentheses, 3x minus 3. Okay, now what we're going to do is combine like terms. So we have like terms on this side of the inequality. We have negative 6 and 5. So that gives us 2x minus 1 is greater than 3x minus 3. Now we're back to a regular problem here where we can add 1 so that we isolate that 2x. That leaves us with 2x is greater than 3x minus 2. Now we want to isolate, we want to get this 3x to the other side, so we have all our x's together. So when we do that, we get negative x is greater than negative 2. Now we can't have a negative x, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. Now again, we're dividing by a negative number, which means the sign has to flip. So x is going to be less than 2. And you will be working problems 13, 14, 15, and 16.